I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, this is the last engine that I got to change the oil on this year. Well, no, actually I got a couple more. But this is the last one I'm going to do for this video. This is the Brute power washer that I got to power wash the paint off the side porch. Did a great job. I was very happy with it. Has a Honda engine on it. Kind of an interesting thing about the Honda engine. I'll tell you about it later. This engine doesn't have a drain that I can find. There's a hole here, but there's no hole through into the crankcase. It's just like they thought about it and decided, nah, we're not going to do that. And everybody's talking about with the tractor, they mentioned using a suction pump. And I thought, well, I don't want to buy a suction pump. I thought, well, okay, I think I got a syringe around here somewhere. And I don't, but I do have this basting bulb. And a piece of silicone hose. Not pulling out a whole lot, but I think it's going to be less messy than tipping the thing on its side. At least I have hope that it will be. That means if this thing's pulling out a quarter ounce at a time, it's going to take a lot of this to get the oil out of there. Yeah, 1/4 ounce at a time. I mean, it's okay for basting turkeys. But not exactly the best method. But I think if I cut this off at an angle, like that, it should fit on the floor of the crankcase a little better. Well, that works. Yeah, that's 1 1/4 ounces at a shot. Well, look at that. That worked. Not exactly the neatest method, but I think it functioned. One thing I don't like about this is there's no way to get the sediment out. You know, there's always a little wear particles of steel or brass or bronze or something. I've pulled out maybe 10 ounces. Seems like there ought to be more. Okay, I've had enough fun playing with this thing. I'm going to try something radical and different. Put that down there on the cardboard so it can be absorbed, any of the spillage. And then we're just going to try tipping this thing over, see if I can get it to dump into this pan. I don't know if it will or it won't, but we're going to sure give it a try. Didn't get a whole lot out of it, but definitely had a chance to let the sediment come out. Honda. Goofball thing not having a drain hole in there. What do they think? That their engines are so cool that they don't wear? Maybe. Maybe it's just a cost-saving proposal. Or they want you to pull the engine off and split the cases to get the oil out. Now that makes sense, doesn't it? One of the things that I wanted to do is find out how much oil this thing actually has in it. And to do that, I'm going to measure it. And And this seemed like the most practical way for me to do it. That's not a lot of oil. "12 ounces. That's how much I got out of it. Doesn't sound like enough. I would think that should hold somewhere, at least most engines that I am used to, hold about a quart or so. And this one appears to have much less. Well, Louis, I think your method of tipping it on its side and dumping it is probably the best. Because using that little suction apparatus worked, but it was really a pain in the butt. Now I'm going to measure how much goes into this thing to hit the full mark. Okay, I put 28 ounces in that quart bottle. That's according to the measurement on the side. And the accuracy of that measurement is subject to question. But it's as close as I can get for what I got. Okay, that's 12 ounces back in it. Let's see where it measures on the dipstick. It's full. It holds 12 ounces. 12 ounces of oil in that engine. That's hardly enough to spit at. But that's what it is. It holds 12 ounces. So I'm going to write on the side of this thing that it holds 12 ounces. That way I won't have to do this again. Of course, I'm recording it so I can go back and check, but who knows if I got a way to listen to the recording at the time I want to do it next time. The Craftsman mower, after I swapped engines on it, had a oil leak. It would have fed a so I ended up with several empty quart cans And I kept them thinking that there would be a use for them. And there is. When I bought this 5-quart, that was about the time that the Craftsman gave up the ghost and got sold. Gentleman down the road has it, loves it, dumps oil in it every time he uses it, I imagine. But for the price he got it, he made a deal. Okay, now I can take off the tape. And there we go. When I picked this hose up as part of a grab bag at the Home Again consignment store down in Vicksburg, Louis said, well, there you've got an extension hose for your power washer, so you don't have to stand on your head to hook up the hose. And I thought, you know, that's a really great idea. So just tie that hose right onto that fitting there, which, you know, if you're going to make a power washer for us old guys to use, making it so that you don't have to bend over and stand on your head to hook up the hoses would be a really good idea. It doesn't take much to extend this thing up so that it reaches. And having this connection just come up about this high would make all the difference in the world. Because I don't bend over so good anymore. Got the oil changed. I'm ready to go out and power wash off the boat because the paint on the boat, Elaine said that it probably wouldn't last. It didn't. But it looked good for the time that I wanted it to look good. Would have liked to have it stay on a few more years, but you know, it is what it is. Well, the oil's changed. Got all 12 ounces back in it. 12 ounces, that's an odd thing. But it's what it takes. So there's 12 ounces of oil back in it, and it's ready to run for another summer. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.